accidental writer. I'm not a writer by profession, or I did not ever think that I'll write a book. Maybe my autobiography, or at some stage a book on acting or something like that, because that also because I run an acting school. But I have dealt with my life at a certain stage of my life when I was going through certain crises, and the way I dealt with them, those crises, made me write that book. When you are going through a bad phase, and if you tell the world that this is what I'm going through, and these are my shortcomings and these are my failures, then the world has nothing to frighten you with, and you draw your strength from within yourself. And then once you start discovering what all potentials you have as a person, you feel the tallest man on earth. You discover, wow, this is fantastic. I never challenged myself to find that out. And based on that, based on my own life experiences, I wrote and aptly titled The Best Thing About You Is You, because you have to find your own strengths. You have to find, if there is a coward in you, there is a brave person in you also. If there is a pessimist in you, there is an optimist in you. So once the book does not make the reader feel dwarfed by a philosophy of, oh my God, I know much more than you. In fact, I know what the reader knows. But just because you read about it, and just because somebody else has expressed it, it reaffirms your faith in your own self. I think we conduct our lives because of that. We can't conduct our lives what other people think of us, which is the most strange way of living. How can other people decide how you need to deal with your life? And because we do that, we feel handicapped. Tell them what you actually are. Tell them that I'm right now frightened, I'm right now hurt. It's very important to communicate what you feel. And it's actually not important what others think. You need to tell yourself. You need to reassure yourself that the world does not stop just because people think that you are like that. You are ultimately, at the end of it, dependent on 3-4 people in your life: your best friend, your family, your spouse, your children, your mother, your parents. Those are the people who are actually concerned about you. Other people are phases in your life that they give you a false impression of either importance or that they are not bothered about you. Every situation can be interpreted in a comical manner. I'm not saying that I'm being insensitive when I see situations in a comical manner, but that's the way I perceive things. That's the way I perceive artificiality. That's the way I perceive fakeness. Anybody who takes himself very seriously is the most comical person. It's your own way of surviving in this huge world. That also it makes you different. It gives you a different perspective. You be a different person. You become a different person because you look at life in a funny, comical manner. If you try, you risk failure. If you don't, you ensure it. Failure creates monsters which are imaginary. It's our mind. Life is about doing, not about thinking. Doing and thinking can be a great source of strength, but it can be also a complete demotivator. Because you think, it's like when you are on a war front, you can't be a thinker, you have to be a doer. But in life, it allows you the luxury of thinking, which only intellectuals have, or which potential intellectuals have. Let me think about it. So how do I go about my life? Because if I go about my life like this, the psychological barriers of my life, it's all bullshit, it's all nonsense. Life is about doing, life is about practicality, life is about crossing one hurdle and then getting on to the next stage. I have done 461 movies because I wanted to do them, not think about them. So that's why my work includes brilliant work and ordinary work. Sometimes when people criticize you, they want to show you how intelligent they are. Even when they are showing you concern that, look, I think you are a brilliant actor, but why do you do a film like Dil Ka Doctor? So they are projecting their importance and their sense of importance rather than what I did was fun. I had a great time. I looked at the irony of it, that the man who was going to die in the next 1 hour or 2 hours advised his son to live life, to live from moment to moment. We either live in the past or we live in the future, or we think about the present. We don't live, we exist. Chatting up with you I'm living my moment with you. I'm actually communicating. I'm not pretending to have a chat with you. To me, life is about talking to each other, about communicating, about reaching out. So when he said live life, I live every moment. Whether I'm in the car, whether I'm chatting, whether I'm meeting people. I could have easily pretended that I've done my session, now I must go and sit down in my room. But I'll feel like an idiot sitting in my room and doing nothing. This is life. Life is around you. Life is to live.